exists as a potentiality, as a possibility now. To demonstrate, get a recognition of your desire and pass the whole thing over to mind. Let it operate. Just know that your desire is already a fact. And quietly say to yourself, as often as the thought comes into your mind, it is done. It is done. The lighter the thought is, the less care or worry over it, the better. The best work is done when the element of struggle is entirely left out.
But there had to come a time when that scripture and the way it was translated to me when I was a little girl was no longer acceptable. There came a time in my spiritual development and unfoldment when I had to leave my daddy's church. And I had to leave behind my daddy's God. And I had to find a God of my own understanding. And as I began to search this God and commune with this God of my own understanding, as I was getting understanding, as I was getting clearer insight, and as I was connecting more and more to this presence and power within me, I had a revelation. And the revelation was that it is impossible for one group over here to be chosen to enter the kingdom of heaven and this group over here to be excluded, because first of all, the kingdom of heaven is not a place, it's a state of consciousness that we all have access to, that is available to each and every one of us. Asking that it be revealed to me in a way that I could apply to my life, and in a way that I could teach so that you could apply it to your life in a way that was good, in a way that was powerful. You prayed for a feast. It felt like a wish. It felt like a desire. It felt like, oh man, I sure want that. And the universe immediately, you launched a desire, and the universe immediately said, yes, it is done. But then you forgot. You forgot you prayed the prayer. So, you showed up for the party, the feast that had been prepared for you, but you forgot to get dressed for it. So you want to show up for the prosperity and the loving relationships and the peace that passeth human understanding and the harmony and the divine order that are all aspects of this feast that you prayed for, that you called forth. But you want to show up at the gates of the party holding on to your old habitual thought forms. You want freedom, but you want to hold on to your old stories of resentment. You want prosperity, but you want to hold on to your old thoughts and beliefs of lack and limitation. And that invitation showed up in my consciousness as a glimpse, just a moment, a glimpse of seeing myself the way God saw me. Have you ever caught a glimpse of seeing yourself the way God saw you? But I shut it down immediately because it was too big for me. I was afraid of it. I didn't know how to pull it off. But here's the thing about the divine invitation when it shows up as that feeling that it's time to grow, that it's time to move, that it's time for something else to happen, that it's time for you to let go of the way you have identified yourself for so long. Here's the thing about the divine invitation. It's a lot like the IRS. It doesn't stop showing up because you ain't ready to deal with it. It's going to keep showing up until you remember who you are. And you can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. So whatever is happening to you, or you think it's happening to you, where someone has betrayed you, abandoned you, abused you, rejected you, that's not true. That's the only way it could get your attention. It came to serve you. So, meaning that when you receive the divine invitation that encoded in that pull, in that push, for you to be that which you are here to be, encoded in that is every direction, every how, every way. But if you are vibrating at a frequency of being traumatized and fear and doubt and uncertainty and resistance, it's not that the answer and the direction isn't there. You're just not lined up with it. The answer is there all the time. And this higher power that is greater than myself is the power that is my real self. It is not a power that's out there somewhere. It's the power that's right here. Your good is going to chase you down. until you accept it. God, thank you for again and again and again doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. Doing for me what I was too afraid to do for myself. Why was I so afraid when it's so good?